With a continuous deterioration in China's economy, news of wage arrears, unemployment, and bankruptcies have been on the rise, leading to a sharp increase in related economic disputes. On various online platforms, one can frequently come across information about Chinese citizens advocating for their rights in issues such as wage disputes, housing payments, and protesting against layoffs. On January 31st, investors of Shanghai Haiyin Wealth organized a protest for their rights. Along the way, demonstrators could be heard chanting, According to online reports, some individuals were reportedly arrested by Chinese Communist Party police during the demonstration. According to a user from X, Haiyin Wealth is one of the leading third-party wealth management companies in China. Its parent company, Haiyin Holdings, went public on the U.S. stock market in March 2021, becoming the second third-party financial management company to do so after Noah Holdings. Haiyin Wealth primarily offers fixed income products such as real estate, supply chain finance, and accounts receivable through distribution channels, with investment returns ranging from 7 to 10%. Since December 2023, some of Haiyin Wealth's wealth management products have faced delays in redemptions. On December 14th, Haiyin Holdings announced on NASDAQ that certain asset-backed products previously distributed by the company were experiencing redemption issues, as the asset management entities of these products were unable to reach agreements with the relevant clients for delayed redemptions. Clients were now requesting repayment. On December 17th, Haiyin Wealth's official WeChat public account released a statement regarding the redemption plan for these products. It stated that, in accordance with the latest regulatory policies and industry guidance, Haiyin Wealth had proactively withdrawn and was reviewing its existing business. The relevant plan would be provided to clients before the end of the month. Despite Haiyin Wealth's announcements, they have failed to quell the anger of investors. Instead, it has sparked more significant doubts among them, leading to multiple protests at Haiyin's headquarters. Investors are demanding redemptions, but so far without success. On January 22nd and 23rd of this year, hundreds of investors of Haiyin gathered for 2 consecutive days at the headquarters of Haiyin Wealth and the Shanghai Pudong Economic Investigation Bureau. They were demanding the redemption of the wealth management products they had purchased from Haiyin Wealth. During this period, authorities deployed many law enforcement officers to the scene to maintain stability. They directed all the investors to board buses and leave the area. Several investors who were unwilling to depart were arrested. In this video, according to information disclosed by insiders, Shanghai Greenland Project in Shirwan has owed rent to property owners for over a year. On January 23rd, property owners gathered at Greenland Group to seek justice. They chanted. Some people expressed their concern, remarking that even a major player like Greenland is facing difficulties, underscoring the challenges in the real estate sector. On January 20th, in Linyi, Shandong, Baiyi Financial experienced a crisis. Its founder, Tang Aiwu, fled with funds. Numerous investors gathered outside the city's government building to demand justice. During the protest, law enforcement authorities were involved in maintaining stability, and some property owners were taken away. Some people suggested if he did not know anyone at a higher level, then he wouldn't be let go. But this might have been allowed to happen intentionally. They argued that this situation forces investors to accept their losses, highlighting the complexities within the country. On January 30th, homeowners from Rongchuang, Shouchuang, Yijiangfu in Wuhan protested at the Wuhan Municipal Housing and Urban Rural Development Bureau. On the same day, outside the premises of the Wuhan Telecommunications Engineering Company, some migrant workers were seen lying on the ground demanding unpaid wages. On January 31st, in Linyi County, Yuncheng City, Shanxi Province, migrant workers knelt down to demand unpaid wages in front of the petition office. Later, they also staged a protest by placing flower wreaths at the sales office of a property development project affected by wage arrears. The video shows a protest by the teaching and administrative staff of Nanhai Middle School in Guangdong. They are demonstrating against the school's failure to pay salaries for several consecutive months. People have gathered at the school's entrance holding banners with various slogans. The banners read, "Return our hard-earned money. We want our salaries. Withholding salaries goes against morality," and "We want our salaries. We want a livelihood." On the first day of February, in Haiyang County, Zhejiang Province, a dispute over unpaid wages at Shine Group sparked protests by migrant workers. In the video, people can be seen braving the rain at the entrance, holding banners that read, "It's shameful for Xinlian Shanying to withhold wages. Return our hard-earned money," among other statements. On February 4th, in a video circulating on X, people can be seen holding banners that say, "Guangzhou Jishi, return our hard-earned money," as a protest for their unpaid wages. Some netizens expressed their surprise, noting that even in a prosperous city like Guangzhou, salary payments are being delayed or withheld. In recent years, China has experienced a continuous rise in various rights protection and economic dispute incidents. This has led to the prosperity of a particular industry, the legal profession. According to a report from the High Court of Jiangsu Province, as of 2022, the province's courts have seen significant changes in the number of cases adjudicated in commercial matters. For instance, in 2021, the first instance of judgments in commercial cases reached 147,000 compared to 126,000 in 2022 and 154,000 in 2019. But in 2022, the number of first instance judgments in commercial cases surged dramatically to 753,000, marking an increase of more than 5 times the previous numbers. Ms. Li, who practices law in Nanjing, recently stated in an interview with foreign Chinese media that in the past 2 years, there has been a significant increase in the number of lawyers in China. The profession is experiencing a several-fold expansion. Regarding the reasons behind this phenomenon, Ms. Li believes that economic conflicts and disputes have become more prevalent, leading to a rise in litigation cases. As a result, the legal profession is thriving in the short term. But in the long run, if the overall environment does not improve in a positive direction, it'll be challenging for any industry to maintain sustained prosperity. Furthermore, according to a report from Economic Observer in August 2023, Wang Yue, the head of the Pudong team in the Shanghai Commercial Real Estate Division of JJL, stated that in recent years, apart from law firms, very few industries have made such a significant contribution to the market's new demand. Wang Yue pointed out that law firms are one of the industries that have made the largest net absorption contributions to Grade A office spaces in downtown areas. According to data from CBRE in 2021 and 2022, law firms in Shanghai leased about 20,000 square meters and 36,000 square meters of new office space, respectively. But in the first half of 2023, the new leasing area for law firms reached 22,000 square meters, with their share of total new leasing demand increasing from 1.9% in 2021 to 4.1% in the first half of 2023. Wang Yue noted that the roots of this phenomenon can be traced back to several years. Before 2019, apart from a few leading law firms, most law firms were not on their organization's radar. But since 2019, the frequency of transactions involving law firms has significantly increased. Wang Yue described it as law firms taking big steps and flocking to the Grade A office market in batches. Of course, this trend has also brought business opportunities to intermediary agencies. An individual with over a decade of experience in office leasing lamented that in recent years, their agency alone has been able to complete 4 to 5 law firm leasing transactions each year, and most of these transactions involve leasing entire floors. According to statistics from CBRE, from the end of 2018 to the end of 2022, the lease area of law firms in Grade A office buildings in Shanghai increased from 215,000 square meters to 343,000 square meters. During the same period, the number of law firms in Grade A office buildings also grew from 194 at the end of 2018 to 239 at the end of 2022. This indicates that in Shanghai, on average, more than 10 law firms per year have been relocating to Grade A office spaces. A similar trend has been observed in Beijing as well. A professional in the field noted that the trend of law firms relocating and expanding in Beijing was becoming more notable from 2017 and 2018. A partner at a prominent law firm in Beijing mentioned that their firm relocated in 2021 from Taikang Building in the East 3rd Ring Road area to Zhaotai International Center in the East 2nd Ring Road area. Their office space expanded from less than 3,000 square meters to 6,000 square meters, but they still face a shortage of workstations. They soon acquired an additional half floor on the 20th floor, increasing their total leased area to over 7,000 square meters. Following the move, the number of lawyers in the firm increased from less than 300 to over 400 by the end of 2021. According to statistics from the Chinese Ministry of Justice, from 2017 to 2021, the number of practicing lawyers in China has been growing at a rate exceeding 10% annually. As of the end of 2022, there were over 651,600 practicing lawyers nationwide and more than 38,600 law firms. Compared to 2021, there was an increase of over 2,000 law firms in 2022. The number of practicing lawyers increased by 76,800 compared to the previous year. A lawyer in Beijing mentioned that over the past 3 years of the pandemic, law firms haven't been significantly impacted. While there has been a reduction in mergers and acquisitions as well as IPO-related business, the volume of bankruptcy and liquidation cases has at least doubled compared to previous years. In Shanghai, a local law firm's lawyer also noted an increase in labor disputes starting from the second half of 2022, with bankruptcy cases on the rise in 2023. Due to the high costs associated with pursuing legal action in mainland China, there's a growing trend of individuals turning to online public opinion and social media for rights protection. This underscores that amidst the backdrop of an ongoing economic downturn, the challenges faced by ordinary citizens are becoming increasingly difficult. According to data from China Dissent Monitor, a project under a U.S. non-governmental organization, Freedom House, economic protest activities in China reached a new high in 2023. Specifically, during the period from December 2022 to February 2023, there were 370 labor protest events, more than twice the number of the previous 3 months. In the period from April to June 2023, the number of protests surged to 535, with labor protests making up 59% and housing protests making up 22%. In August and September 2023, there were 461 protest events related to economic dissatisfaction, which was 1.5 times more than the recorded number for the same period in 2022. Among these, nearly 3/4 of the protest events were related to labor issues, reflecting the ongoing upward trend in worker protest activities. This series of data indicates that protests triggered by economic issues continue to grow in mainland China. According to data collected by the Hong Kong-based non-governmental organization China Labor Bulletin, from social media, there were 1,199 instances of wage protest events involving enterprise employees or migrant workers in mainland China from July 1st, 2023 to January 22nd, 2024. These protests were primarily concentrated in the construction and manufacturing industries. Additionally, during the same period, CLB also recorded 1,011 cases of workers seeking assistance, with the main reason being wage arrears. Industries involved in these cases were also predominantly construction and manufacturing. When faced with labor disputes, why do a significant number of people choose the online option as a means of seeking justice? In response to this question, Dong Baohua from the Law School of East China Normal University stated in an interview with the Economic Observer in January that people tend to choose online public opinion for rights protection in such cases rather than relying on legal channels. This choice involves a cost-benefit trade-off. Pursuing legal recourse for individuals can be relatively costly with uncertain returns. Moreover, under China's one trial, two appeals system, the process for individuals seeking justice in labor disputes can be more complicated than typical civil disputes. On the other hand, online public opinion-based rights protection comes with lower costs and can sometimes yield more significant results. As for the question of why a significant proportion of people do not claim unemployment benefits after resigning or being laid off, Dong Baohua explains that unemployment benefits typically amount to 70% of the local minimum wage. This is not a substantial amount, and the application process can be cumbersome. Therefore, individuals may not prioritize unemployment benefits and may be more concerned with receiving higher severance pay from their employers, denoted as N, or even 2N. N is standard compensation, while 2N is double the standard compensation. This means that during periods of unemployment, their income primarily comes from the company's funds rather than government unemployment benefits. Dong Bahua pointed out that in the United States, layoffs are entirely at the discretion of employers, and they are not legally obligated to provide financial compensation to laid-off employees. But many companies have their own personnel policies that often include severance pay. As a result, when individuals experience involuntary unemployment in the U.S., their income often relies more on government-provided unemployment benefits. In such cases, unemployment benefits play a role in mitigating economic fluctuations. For instance, during the 2008 to 2009 financial crisis, the U.S. government spent significantly on unemployment benefits, with about 2.6 million people claiming benefits in 2009. As the economy recovered, the number of individuals claiming unemployment benefits quickly decreased, reaching around 1.5 million in non-crisis years. In contrast, during 2008 and 2009, the number of individuals claiming unemployment benefits in China decreased by 8.7% and 10% year-on-year, respectively. Dong Bahua emphasized that in addressing economic crises, China's unemployment insurance system has not played a significant role. Some analysts argue that in cases of layoffs or wage arrears, many employees or migrant workers choose to protest rather than resort to legal action. This is because they feel the government is inactive or negligent in addressing their grievances. Mr. Ning Ye, a human rights lawyer in Washington, D.C., explained in an interview with the Epoch Times that the judicial system in China, particularly under the CCP, is very opaque. Many people feel that they have no access to justice and may not be able to afford the high costs associated with litigation. He elaborated, saying, legal litigation costs not only just refer to the general court fees, such as filing and registration fees. It primarily refers to legal fees, especially the cost of hiring a lawyer. Most ordinary workers lack the legal knowledge to pursue litigation, and hiring a lawyer is often financially burdensome. Therefore, the general public is well aware of this and prefers to seek justice through public opinion. Chinese authorities are more fearful of public opinion. Once the dark deeds are exposed, they may face investigations from higher authorities and reveal even more significant issues. Indeed, under the CCP's rule, the challenges of survival have become increasingly difficult in various sectors. In recent years, virtually all sectors in civil society have been subject to government crackdowns and reforms in China. Chinese private tech companies, after decades of development, have become giants in various industries, with their financial strength, influence, and control of resources far exceeding the level that the CCP is comfortable with. Since the CCP regulatory authorities launched investigations and business rectifications against e-commerce giant Alibaba in the name of anti-monopoly in 2020, a series of major private enterprises, including Tencent, Baidu, Didi, Meituan, New Oriental, and others, have faced government investigations, rectifications, and penalties. Furthermore, industries including real estate, finance, education, healthcare, gaming, and more have not escaped the fate of government crackdowns, leading to wage cuts, layoffs, unemployment, and bankruptcies across various sectors. The outcry from the Chinese public is widespread. Furthermore, due to pandemic-related lockdowns and restrictions, China has witnessed a wave of closures among small and medium-sized enterprises. According to media reports, in 2020, 460,000 companies closed, leaving 780 million people in debt. In the first 11 months of 2021, approximately 4.37 million small and medium-sized enterprises permanently shut down. In 2022, internet and technology companies in China also carried out large-scale layoffs. Despite the end of the pandemic, the Chinese economy did not recover as expected. According to data from Chi-Cha-Cha, a business information platform, nearly 7,000 rural homestays closed in the first 11 months of 2023, as reported by the food and beverage industry media Kaiyin 88. It is worth noting that private enterprises provide 80% of the employment opportunities in China, which indirectly reflects a weakening economy in the country. In the video, the blogger humorously remarks, close down again. Started with the food and beverage industry. It closed down. Tried education and training, and it closed down too. I'm not afraid to admit it, but it did indeed close down. Another person comments, from having assets worth millions to being heavily in debt, Mr. Sun only took 5 years. The blogger concludes with self-deprecation saying, I used to think I was a dragon, but after trying so many things, I realized I'm just a worm. I don't know what to do, feeling lost. In the video, this woman talks about her failed cross-industry investments during the pandemic, resulting in a debt of over 8 million yuan. She tearfully says, I really have nothing now. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm still outside. I have no home anymore. I don't know where to go. I feel so helpless. This is the first month of my company's bankruptcy. Today, we've cleared all our assets, and now, apart from a pile of debt, I truly have nothing left. I've blocked all my good friends. Now, I don't want to see anyone every day. I'm afraid my relatives and friends will see me in this miserable state. During the day, I'll put on a brave face and smile.